Hi, welcome to Mash on This, Mashable's daily culture and entertainment show that gives you tomorrow's biggest news stories today. I'm your host, Josh Elliott's disgraced Moyle, also known as Dory Greenberg. On Mash on This, we give you a quick rundown of what we think is the best the internet has to offer, so be sure to tell us what you think in the comments, and we'll get to them at the end of the show. Don't be shy now. Let's get into it, shall we? Between changing his big boy diaper and flinging spaghetti all over the walls, President Donald Trump decided it would be a good idea to completely undo all the work President Obama did regarding climate change and is currently preparing to pull the United States out of the Paris Climate Agreement. By removing the country from the Paris Climate Agreement, which went into force in 2016, we would be joining only Syria and Nicaragua in rejecting the treaty. And according to our senior science editor, Andrew Friedman, because Nicaragua stayed out of the agreement on the grounds that it's too timid, that essentially means that the U.S. is in alliance with Syria as the only two countries that are in denial of climate change. With the Paris Agreement pullout, the U.S. will effectively cede leadership on climate change and renewable energy to China, India, and other rapidly developing economies that are investing billions in solar, wind, and other renewable technologies. The Paris Agreement commits the world to keeping global warming to well below 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit through the year 2100. That's a long time. It's the first treaty to bring developing and developed countries together to commit to taking action on global warming. Scientists believe that global climate change, if left unchecked, could bring withering droughts, more intense storms, devastating sea level rise, and more frequent and severe heat waves to many parts of the globe, destroying everything in its path. To learn more about why Trump is planning on pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement, read Andrew's article on Mashable.com. So we need to talk about someone who is one of my biggest inspirations in life and someone I really admire, and that person is Kathy Griffin. In an attempt to express herself and specifically express her frustrations with the current administration, she went too far with a satirical photo shoot that involved a graphic image of a decapitated head that looks like Donald Trump. This had led to an onslaught of negative feedback and CNN discussing whether they want Kathy back to host New Year's Eve with Anderson Cooper, which would be such a shame if she wasn't there. Kathy has since apologized profusely and acknowledges her lack of judgment. She has always tried to push the boundaries of comedy, and when you try to do that, there are bound to be some mistakes. Obviously, some mistakes are harmless, while others lead to the Secret Service deeming you a security threat. But mistakes are imperative to the learning and growing process. So, Kathy, you and me both know you definitely blew it this time, but you still have a fan in me. Robots, they're just like us. Transition. Or at least they could be just like us in the future, especially when it comes to doing your job better than you can. But how much are you, specifically you watching, at risk for getting replaced by some intelligent hunk of junk? I don't know. There's a new website that is aptly titled WillRobotsTakeMyJob.com. It's here to answer that question with some certainty. And here's what it looks like. Type in your current profession, which for me is producer. You choose the best match from a selection list, and the engine spits out how safe you are from automation replacement, how much this profession is projected to grow in 7 years, the average annual salary, and roughly how many other humans currently hold that job. But if you're looking for something incredibly bleak to complete your day, just hit the random example hyperlink for some other jobs that are likely much more at risk for robot replacement. And for more details about how this website was built, definitely check out Jason Abruzzesi's article on Mashable.com, and then take a couple minutes to consider how silly it is that we are relying on a robot to tell us how likely a robot will be taking our job, because it is very silly indeed. Somebody better warn Chicken Little, because Amazon is getting one step closer to dropping toilet paper, laundry detergent, and diapers from the sky onto your lawn. Today, the e-commerce giant has received a patent for a parachute shipping label for drone deliveries. According to the newly issued patent, the parachute label could look and act just like any other shipping label, But underneath is a system of cords, a parachute, a breakaway cover, and possibly a harness to keep everything in place. Amazon began trialing its drone delivery system in the UK late last year, and the company completed its first Prime Air demonstration in the US in March. However, parachutes didn't figure into either trial. The autonomous drone simply landed and released their packages. Amazon hopes its Prime Air network will eventually deliver packages within 30 minutes, using the parachute for a soft landing. What do y'all think about drone delivery? Are you excited for tampons and condoms to fall from the sky like I am? Please let us know in the comments. So if you are watching the best show on television right now, you'll know that the competition for season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race is really heating up. And there's one unexpected celebrity who recently lived his own drag fantasy among some RuPaul's Drag Race queens last night in London. And see if you can tell who it was.
Here she is, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the voice. It's Whitney Houston.
I love how Michelle Visage tried to cut him off and he was like, I'm not done. But also, I never thought I would see one of my celebrity crushes performing in a drag show, but dang, Andrew Garfield tore that house down. Yeah, Spider-Man. He's currently in the Tony Kushner play Angels in America, which focuses on AIDS and homosexuality during the 1980s, and clearly he is not afraid to wear his LGBTQ ally badge loud and proud. And for that, Andrew, we salute you. Shantae, you stay as long as you'd like. Call me. The new Wonder Woman movie has been the center of controversy lately after a movie theater chain decided to offer women-only screenings. But the film now has a much more political problem to contend with. Lebanon's Ministry of Economy is seeking to ban Wonder Woman because its lead actress, Gal Gadot, is Israeli. Lebanon has been officially at war with Israel and has a decades-old law that boycotts Israeli products and bars Lebanese citizens from traveling or having contacts with Israelis. And now a boycott group called Campaign to Boycott Supporters of Israel Lebanon, catchy, has launched a campaign against showing the movie in Lebanon. A formal request for a ban has not yet been received, and the decision to ban the movie would ultimately come from the country's interior minister, following a recommendation from the 6-member committee. Despite the controversy in Lebanon, Wonder Woman is set to open as scheduled during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan across theaters in the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Kuwait. Tomorrow. This is supposed to be a really great film, I hear. And we hope it's like going to actually happen because it would be such a shame, especially for all the young female viewers out there.